Oh. Bet you can hear us now. Can you hear me now? Because somebody had one job. She had one job to turn the microphone on.
No. When we did the stuff the other day that we still haven't figured out, we're messing with the microphone and I forgot about it. Sorry, y'all.
Drop the mic.
Now you should be able to hear.
Yeah, now we can see how it's peaking.
I know.
See right there. So what I was saying, Wakatomaka. See, they can hear us now. Wakatomaka.
I know.
The pig that we did
today is bigger than the one that we sent you pictures of the other day.
So there's that.
And it was stupid cold today. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it was stupid cold, but it was definitely like illiterate cold. So.
Yeah, you weren't reading
Earth
nothing.
Inspirations and Pottery. Hello. Incense Shop. Hello. Copper Kettle Farms. Hello. Mama Z's Texas Kitchens. Hello.
The closed captions are happening, so I think you're doing fine.
Smoking Reptile. Ben's
over.
Oh,
yeah, that's...
Renee. JRC in the house. What's up?
So
Naturally and
I was going to say, so you're just going to
no, it just
dip over her?
No, I was, you know what, Duncan, a hot mess on a mission. I wonder who that is.
I can't even imagine.
I don't know who
that is.
I know who that is. That's somebody that I got 85,000 steps over.
Somebody slacking.
She's slacking.
Somebody slacker.
So,
hey, Brenda. Happy belated birthday, Brenda. I forgot to...
Wild Woodland Lavender Farm. How are you doing tonight? April Hill's in the house.
I love April Hill.
Yes.
She's fun.
Yes. We need to have another get-together.
Yes, we do.
We need to have another get-together where everybody can come and say hello.
Yes.
To one another.
We definitely need to do that.
But I think I want to wait till it gets a little bit warmer.
Yes, I do want to wait
Sup,
for that.
Drops?
Hello.
So again, I ask you, if I pull on this...
I will choke you on live stream.
That escalated quickly.
My Fitbit is on the charger today. I will get you next week.
Mm-hmm. Makes me chuckle when you say it's cold there. Come to
British
BC.
Columbia.
I would love to. I would love to. I really...
She said, shh, I love you too.
I want to go to the Canadian bacon world.
No. Doing great watching all the truck convoy. I bet. That
whole supply chain thing is going to be a real head scratcher.
Mm-hmm.
For producers, though.
Welcome to the...
Wish we weren't so far away from y'all. Same here. Uh-oh.
Oh, goodness. This is Tori.
Okay.
Lost dude, what's up? I agree, yes, and I can get money in my bank
Come to
account.
New Hampshire if it's cold where you are. We have 8 to 10 inches of snow right now. Ugh!
Ohio had minus 13 this morning, and I spent all day ice fishing.
We have to go up there. I want to go ice fishing. I have never been ice fishing, and I want to go. Bucket list.
Well, go kick the bucket, and then you can take care of your list.
Oh, okay. That's how we're going to be today. Give somebody a fancy coffee, and this is how they behave. So, well, here we are. It's the end of...
The world as we know it.
It's the end of January. It's the last...
Yes.
It's pretty much the last weekend in January, right?
Yes, it is the last weekend in January. Whoa. That was interesting. What just happened there?
I don't know.
It was 26 degrees this morning and 65 this afternoon. We did not get that warm.
No, we didn't get that warm today. We We got another pig hanging up. So we've been able to process so far in the month of January 5 pigs. We've got we got 6 bellies, 6 bacon bellies in smoked and in the freezer. No, 4 of them smoked, 2 of them in the brine right now. We got 2 hams that are done brining, getting ready to go in the smoker tomorrow. Bunch of shoulders, bunch of butts. We did ham slices on a couple of majority of the rest of the hams, because we only kept the hams from one of the pigs, and we put the rest in ham slices, ham steaks. So, and let me tell you, we Sherry and Daryl from Two Family sent us a message last year that this meat bandsaw / grinder thing was on sale up there at Lehman's
Rural King.
And so we told them to go ahead and get it, and they brought it down to us this year.
Last year, but yeah, last
year. It's because it's January. I got you. I feel you. The thing, we were going to do an unboxing video and an assembly video.
Nope.
But that...
You know that little box you have to check where it says no profanity?
we wouldn't have been able to check that box. That was the most difficult piece of equipment ever in my life to assemble.
But I will say this. It proved to me how intelligent the 4 of us are, especially when we're all putting our heads together.
Yeah.
Because we were able to look at just an expanded diagram of everything and be able to figure it out.
Because there's YouTube videos about this piece of equipment. Everybody's doing the same thing, fussing about said piece of equipment.
And come to find out, it's the same thing, but several different companies put their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Lincoln Outfitters, I think, is the brand that we got. But like there are other companies that will purchase it and then put their label on it or whatever. Yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure there was profanity involved when it came off the back of Daryl's truck.
That's right, you were here for that.
Hey, Grandma Karen. But yeah, so we really did. We started to try and film putting it together. And, you know, there was part of me that was like, we really should have just pushed through and filmed and then gone ahead and edited, you know, everything out that we needed to edit once we figured it all out. But because there really is no assembly like we looked, there was no assembly video for this thing.
That's because everybody had the same issue we had.
Yeah.
You got to a certain part and you lost your religion because of, well, one, you got meat hooks for hands. You're not getting them in some of those tiny places. In fact, Carol and Ladessa both even had a hard time with their tiny hands getting in there in some places. And there's all these different nuts and screws and different sizes, and you're not sure.
Nothing was like labeled, like, you know. And I'll give you a comparison. If any of y'all have watched my video on, or if you own a gorilla cart, Woody, what is up? I'm so glad to see him still alive and kicking.
Well, really, he's typing.
Right.
He's not really kicking.
So, the thing is, like, if you look at a product like Gorilla Cart, if you've ever purchased a Gorilla Cart and put one together, or if you watched our video and saw just how detailed their stuff was, that's on this side of the spectrum. This thing was like out in California on the other side of the spectrum.
Not to say that we don't appreciate our California viewers.
You know what I mean.
No, we don't know what you mean.
We're on the East Coast. It's all the way on the West Coast. Is what
That thing was all the way down under.
Probably.
Not that we don't appreciate our Australian viewers.
But anyway,
we're just using that.
It was ridiculous as far as
yeah. Well, the thing that really aggravated me is you've got to wire the thing up. You got to wire the motor to the power source, and then you have a circuit breaker. Mm-hmm. And so
you would have thought if anything was going to have directions, it was going to be that would.
And we did find this one old boy that actually did a video.
And God love him, it's not the best quality video. It's really hard to see because he's trying to do it with one hand and film it with the other. It's like you had to like stop it and look really close at the picture. But it definitely helped.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those that, but it works
very well. Very well.
We're gonna do a product review video on it, and I'm definitely gonna express my feelings about the assembly and the directions and everything.
You can't, because then I will be editing that out too.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
And but as we get more comfortable using it,
tomorrow
it works. But there are some things that I would have changed with it. It's working. Let me rephrase. It's working great with small pigs.
Yes.
First big pig we did, we'll see how the bigger pig that we even got tomorrow. So we'll see. We may break it.
I don't know. That pig is huge.
Yeah, he's a big. Huge. You could be a big pig. He makes Pumbaa look small.
That was fun doing that.
Big pig too, boy. Robin, what you making? Still the
same
scarf?
Thing. It's like super, super long now, y'all.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How big is this woman?
It's not about that. See, like when you make them this big, then you can double it and run it across like this, and then you can put it through like this, and now you have a nice
choker.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like the variegated, like I've always liked that, the ombre-ish kind of stuff, so it's hard to tell. This lighting's really not that great, but it's reds and grays and pinks and grays and grays and grays, so.
Yeah. It's a bandsaw, Grandpa's farm. It better not be smoking.
Let's hope it smokes better than it is assembled. Purdy.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I actually had a customer who saw one of my scarves on our website, and he wanted one for his mother, so I told him I would make him one for his mother.
So, what's up, Jay? I was just getting ready to talk about you, brother.
Hey, look who that is.
That's my new friend.
That's my new friend.
Sydney.
Well, oh my God, that's hilarious. His last name is Holland. Oh my God.
No.
I didn't even think about that.
No.
Oh gosh, that is funny.
No.
What size needle am I using? I'm using an I 5.25 millimeter. What?
Just then you finish. I'm still over here.
Yeah, I have another one that I got. I have another type of yarn that I got, and I think it's one of those like the cakes. Is it Karen cakes or whatever? And it's really soft, and it's like a, I don't know, it's whatever it is, but I'm looking forward to using it. But it's a lot thinner than this. Like this yarn, it's pretty heavy. Like it's definitely scarf yarn. Like it's a good yarn for scarves. But I really like the other one. I actually had Carol loves like textured stuff, and like she really loves that yarn, and so I'm trying to figure out something to make for her using it. It was one of those where I bought one, I got one like half off, and it was only like $3 or something like that. So
everybody, I want everybody to say hi to Jay. He's in the chat. Jay Holland. He is a local friend who's going to be a homesteader here pretty soon. He's got some working on getting some land and wanting to do it. Well, he came out today because he wanted to learn how to process pigs, and it was the first time he did anything, and he took to it like a duck to
I was very
water.
impressed because, like, you know,
It could be because I'm an awesome teacher. It could be that.
that could be it.
Even though Carol did most of the teaching with him, she jumped in there too. But he did really, really, really good today. He's going to be coming back tomorrow for doing the rest of the
Yeah, pig's kind of a two-day
two-day
process
thing.
for
And so we're going
us.
to be cutting it up. We're going to send him home with some pork.
Yeah.
And
I'm wearing a hat Robin made. It's still warm.
so he's a new member of the Big Bear Nation. So everybody...
Hey, bro. We have family in Georgia.
Yeah, notice that.
That's pretty cool.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
So, want to everybody give Jay and his family a warm welcome into
So,
the nation.
speaking of that, we will be filming our stuff tomorrow, what we're doing. And so we didn't film the part, you know, obviously the dispatch and things like that. I was going to film us, like, corralling him and getting him out, but that turned into, and it always does. I mean, you know, you always need more bodies than you have. And so we ended up, I ended up having to put the camera down and get in there and be an extra body, because 3 was, there's, in the area where he was, it's just too big of an area to try and cover everything. And so we had to kind of corner him and then, you know, apply pressure to get him out the door.
Plus, Carol likes to run.
She always does. Like, it's very frustrating, especially like when we were dealing with Freckles. It happened a lot because she would push, and everybody's different. Everybody's animals are different, but for the most part with our animals, it seems like the more we run or the more we apply like heavy pressure, the more they skedaddle. And so a lot of times it's just strategically putting your body in a place that kind of lets them know, okay, I'm not going that route, I'm going to turn this way. And then you step one step in. And it's a very slow, like, it can be a very slow process, but it's very deliberate. And if you just deliberately move that just very slightly, and that's what we did, is once I could get Carol and Ladessa to listen, because they kind of get in their head that they're going to be able to do, you know, everything. And most of the time, I'm not saying that they don't know what they're doing, but most of the time what they're doing works. But in that situation, it's like we had to get them to just chill, because Carol just wanted to run that pig until it finally gave up, and that just wasn't gonna, it was too cold out there for that. Like, it was, that wind was ripping through us, and it was just
that
cold.
wind was cutting like a knife.
Yeah, so we eventually got him outside, got him to where he was looking at some food, and then Jason dispatched him, and we got him up the hill. He was heavy. And Jay helped a lot with that. And this is something that's interesting, is that he didn't tell us till later, but he's never been involved in the process of dispatching and then doing any of this. And so
those Hollands do kind of jump right in, whether it's chasing a calf, tackling a calf, or jumping right in.
So Jay, I don't know if you figured out, but the Naked Gardeners, it's Sydney and Tori, and their last name is Holland as well. And they're really good friends of ours. And so...
I mean, we like Tori.
Yeah, and so I like Sydney. Sydney's cool. But he jumped right in because Jason was trying to roll him over into the, roll the pig over into the sled. And Jay got right in there and like grabbed and helped roll him. And
he was very, and one of the things I love it with when people like Jay come and they want to learn, or one like Sydney and Tori here and they want to learn, and they ask questions. Because I always feel like I don't know where their level is, what their experience level is, or what they want to know, what they don't want to know, what they saw on YouTube, what they haven't seen in their own research.
And
the
other thing is that we've been doing this so long, there are some things that we just probably think of as second nature, and it's not. It's it's something that a lot of people don't necessarily know. And so that's something we also have to try and remember, is sometimes it's like, well, we know that because that's a duh, but it's not really a duh. It's just we've been doing it for so long that it seems that way. Yeah. So, but yeah, he, very quick learner. So anyway, what I was getting at is we're going to be filming tomorrow, and we're going to try and film as much of the process as we can without it being like, oh, there's a dead pig here. Because it's not really that anymore. At this point, it's just meat.
I was gonna say, it doesn't even look like a pig anymore.
Right, it's just two halves of a carcass at this point. And so I'm curious, if you were making the video or watching the video, what kind of information would you want us to cover in this video? Because we're going to be bringing it down off the winch. What?
Nothing. It's not called a winch.
What's it called?
Well, it's hanging on the gamble.
Right, but the winch is holding it up.
Well, duh.
So we're going to bring it down off...
No, we're going to take it off the gamble.
I didn't say take it off of. I said bring it down from the winch and then off of the gamble onto the tables.
That's not what you said.
Whatever. Anyway.
Not what you said. Get the job. Don't. Look. Oh, so at my house, all of a sudden, I don't know where it came from.
Either.
Where it came from.
You're watching too much Sons of Anarchy.
No, I don't watch it when they're... I try not to watch it when they're around.
You're stepping on my ball.
I will cut that, you.
How dare you. To sleep with... Well, I will throat punch you right here on this live stream.
So, we've got the new goat area. We should be pulling fence
next week.
Yeah. Monday. And putting goats in hopefully by close of business on Monday. Because we had a wonderful...
Son of a gun.
Wonderful discovery on Friday. The one big fence that we thought that we weren't going to have... that was just barbed wire. Wasn't
just barbed wire.
It was regular, the hurricane fencing, pasture fencing, whatever you want to call it. And so, but they had it on like old cedar posts. Mm-hmm. So we have to pick it back up and
stretch it out.
Not really stretch it, but just whoosh, pick it up, put it on T-posts, connected to T-posts. And so that saved us
a good bit.
75 yards.
Yeah, a good bit.
Worth of fence pulling.
Yeah.
The spot where we found that gate, from there back where you guys have seen that it's all barbed wire, we're going to have to put some type of hurricane fencing or pig fencing up there and then hook around and come
back around.
Come back up the front.
Yeah.
Which, relatively as clear as we got everything, should be able to be done Monday.
I hope so.
Yeah, especially if we get some time freed up tomorrow. and we'll be able to go out there and gather the fencing and the T-posts and stuff from other areas.
Okay, that's weird. They're starting to figure out that they might
be kin.
actually be kin. That's pretty funny.
And I'm never going to hear the end of that.
Nope. Nope. Never going to hear the end of that.
And so that's exciting. We're gonna more than likely put Gizmo in there with the goats.
We got to see how he does. Carol's been working with him, walking him on a leash and getting him close so that he can kind of get
when he was
acclimated.
When he was up in his one place before we put him on this different run, when the goats were getting out, they would all migrate to him and stay around him. So I think it's going to be okay.
Kermit the Frog cries whenever a pig is dispatched.
Kermit the Frog is in a deep depression in this week.
I'm just glad that girl didn't run off that girl piggy didn't run off.
Fine. So looking forward to getting that done and off the plate, and then we'll be able to clear this week. If we get that done on Monday, we'll be able to clear the one half of the pastures like we talked about in the video up there in the front, and possibly be able to start on the second side, on the driveway side, drop it. Now that's going to take a little bit more time because we're going to be dropping big trees in there, and I'm just going to drop them one at a time and then cut them up. And
yeah, because that mess that we had from all them trees that we dropped last year, that's taken you forever, and it's not your fault. It's just there was a lot, so it's kind of one of those things.
And so we'll get all of that, and then once all the trees are down and the area's all cleared up, I don't think I'll be trying to pull any stumps this year. I think I may just let them rot. We'll see, because some of them are big ones. Some of them are already kind of rotted. The pine one is all rotted up already, so I might be able to take it out with a quick fire. But I'm just gonna try to get them as flush with the ground as possible so they don't become an issue. And then
for Miss Klutz over here. And
then start putting gates up on both sides, and then start running the barbed wire. I'm gonna tell Gallagher that we're ready, because Gallagher has some type of a new pole that they want us to use for permanent fencing, that you're supposed to be able to clip barbed wire and electrical fencing on. And so I've got to reach out to Jerry there and tell him we're about ready. Take some of the measurements to figure out how many of those poles that we're going to need. So I'm very interested in that, because if that is true, that we're able to do those things on it, it's almost like, it seems like it's a mixture of one of the step-in poles and a T-post. This is going to be a huge game changer, in my opinion, when it comes to
rotational.
No, not necessarily rotation. Yeah, we're setting up rotational grazing and just really setting up fencing as is, because with T-posts you got to clip them on, and then you got to wrap them, and you got to do all this kind of stuff. So this is supposed to take out one of those steps. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what it's going to be, and so then once that is done and that fencing is ran, hopefully we'll have it all done by the end of February, middle of March. I'm hoping. And then it's going to be hard, and that would be perfect timing, because then it's hardcore getting the garden going. We'll have some seeds started inside. By then, some of the tomatoes, peppers, squashes. What else?
Not squash. You mean to start seeds? Tomatoes, peppers, eggplant. Eggplant takes a long time. Like, eggplant's probably going to go in here pretty soon. Yeah, that's crazy. They're related. He said he has an uncle that he knows of that lives in that town. That's pretty cool. Gotta love the YouTube. I didn't even think about the fact that both of their last names was Holland. That's nuts. And when he said something about Virginia, I was like, yeah, he was talking about Virginia and North Carolina today. That's nuts. That's super nuts. Anyway, so yeah, we've got...
She's not going to stop talking about that the rest of
So
the night.
we've got seeds that... And we still have to order ours. Because a lot of our seeds that we procured when we were at Baker Creek... We had started to lose our germination rate, and it wasn't because the seeds weren't good. It was because of how we had stored them. And so they had been through a lot of hot and cold and sun and some getting wet. And so we just decided we needed to go ahead and start over. So we're getting a list together, and then we'll get that order in and get everything started.
Hey, Lone Star, how's that baby? So glad that baby looks like Mama.
You're so mean.
Just saying.
She's adorable, though. She's so stinking cute.
So glad she looks like Mom.
I love her. She's amazing. She's so cute. And she's so smart. Like, you can just see her, like, paying attention when you do Marcos with him. Like, you could just see her little eyes tracking everything. She's adorable.
Yeah, she's like, who is that handsome fella?
No, she's like, Daddy, get him off the screen.
Touche.
Douchey.
I see how it is. So that, I mean, I'm super excited about this year. I'm really excited about where we are being able to process our own meat.
Yeah.
We've really went up another level.
In the last year, I think really from knocking out as many chickens as we did and then turning around and starting to knock out these pigs, I think we've kind of reached a point where we're like, what's the next bigger animal that we can do?
Watching from Belgium.
Oh,
Hello.
that's cool.
Good day. I can't read it.
Irabor, maybe?
Irabor. Well, good day.
She's doing... well, growing, eating, having nightmares of Jason.
You know what? I hope you get a rocket poop the next time you're trying to change the diaper. I hope you get a rocket poop. So yeah, I've been really deep diving into the Bearded Butcher channel, and like kind of have gone down some rabbit holes with those guys. Absolutely love those guys.
I can honestly say I'm digging the idea that we should be making some jerky soon. I'm going to get us a jerky gun. Maybe between the Amazon credit and when I sell this scarf, I'll be able to buy a jerky gun.
A jerky gun, that would be fun.
That's
too.
what I want, a jerky gun. I think a jerky gun would be cool. We were sitting watching them make it today, and I was like, oh.
Well, they have really boosted my confidence with their
They
videos.
do a really good job of going, okay, look, we do this in a commercial setting, but let's do this in a non-commercial setting so that you can see that you can do this. It's not that big of a deal.
And they have really boosted my confidence to the point where this fall I'm going to do a cow.
How?
You mean how?
How are you going to hang it?
I'm going to I've got this.
Okay.
I've got this.
Jeremy, if you're still in here, you need to plan a trip this fall down to...
Okay, that hurt. That really hurt. That was deep.
Yep.
Cut me deep.
Yep.
Because, especially, like, the more we learn and the more we're able to save up and then get the equipment that we need, the... like these new knives that we got, they're not the what are they called? Vintex.
Yes, I need more chickens, last dude.
What's the name of that knife? The
Victorinox.
Victorinox. They're not the Victorinox.
No.
but they are a higher grade than what we were using.
They're comparable. You know, Victorinox is a name brand, and just like with anything else, you're going to have some that are comparable that are not necessarily the exact same name. So I went to a restaurant supply store, and the guy told me that they were good knives because it's made out of German steel, and so far they're really holding up very well, and we're learning. And you know, it's crazy because we always say nothing's impossible with the right tool, and
that's why I married Robin, because she told me that one time, and I was like, oh, this woman's gonna let me buy tools.
So we have learned over the years that certain things require certain tools. When we started butchering our chickens, Murray McMurray was kind enough to send us some butchering tools. One of those things was a lung scraper. One of the best tools out there. It looks medieval as heck, and it'll scratch you up if you're not careful. But it'll pull a lung out of a rib cage and clean. So again, I can put my hands in there and try to pull it all out, and it may come out in pieces. But if I have a little lung scraper, thing comes right out. So it's the same thing with, you know, we were using some of Jason's stuff that he uses for trapping when he's skinning his animals that way. And while those were good, they weren't great.
They weren't great. I mean, they're cheap China-made knives that you make one little cut and you have to put it on the steel.
Yeah.
And so it gets very aggravating.
Time consuming. And so we ended up doing, we ended up getting the knives, and we didn't spend a whole lot, you know, on the knives, because we weren't going to go deep into it if it wasn't exactly what we were looking for. But fortunately, these knives were under $20, and so we grabbed one of each. There was a wider blade and then a thinner one, and they've both been great, to the point where Jason was like, go back and get me a second set, because now instead of just using it to break down the meat, we're going to actually use it to skin. And they worked wonderfully today. Yeah. They worked really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lung scraper is handy. It is. It really is. And, you know, the other thing, and I don't know if you've used this, Deanna, but I've used it not just for the lungs. Sometimes there's some stuff that kind of gets kind of stuck in there, and you can take that and kind of scrape a bunch of stuff, not just the lungs out. So that's pretty good. Turns out Sydney does Robin's chicken math.
That I believe.
Yeah.
Ravencoat, what's up?
Raven cat.
That's what I said.
Sure you did.
It just sounded coat
it's
to
Cecilia.
you.
Cecilia. Hello, Cecilia.
So, anyway. So, we're going to be purchasing a sausage stuffer here real soon, and a slicer. I have a couple of things on my goal list this year to make. And if you're serious about that jerky gun, then that'll be 3 things.
I'm dead serious. That's not joking. For 30, because here's the way I look at it, y'all. It's $34 for this jerky gun. I could spend $34 in jerky pretty quickly if we were gonna go buy it.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, and one of the things that the Bearded Butchers said about this is that they take the meat that isn't being eaten from the freezer, the last year's freezer meat that is probably just going to sit there and get old and get buried. They take that out, thin it, or thaw it, and grind it up and make it and send it. And I mean, that's what I want to do. So
yeah, I've got Ricky Wallace made a beaver knife for us. In fact, I think he calls it the Big Bear Beaver Knife on his website, and we still use that. But I try to save that. I mean, certain tools have certain purposes.
Yeah.
And the thing with the beaver knife is it doesn't really have a tip.
Yeah, it's rounded.
It's rounded. So,
all right, Brenda.
Now I do use his heavy grade beaver knife because it's a heavier steel. Mm-hmm. Now I'll use that when I'm doing the legs to help pop the
joint,
the foot out of the socket. That comes in really great for that. But
that would be the joint.
That's what I said. And anyway, so I forget what I was going to say. Oh, so Mississippi Girl Life, what's going on?
Hello.
So I will be getting a sausage stuffer and a slicer. My goals this year: I want to make Italian sausage, bratwurst, my own hot dogs, and I want to make. I like roast beef for sandwiches. I'm not paying what they're asking for in the deli.
Where were we at? It was like $16 a pound.
Yeah.
For the boar's head or whatever.
And so
which is I
want to basically smoke my own roast beef, and I don't know which one I'll use. Maybe the English roast at first because it's smaller.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Until I get it to where I want it, and then slice it up, and then eventually I want to be able to make pepperoni, salami, with some other stuff that you wanted. Bologna, yeah,
all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm really. And as we were talking with Jay this afternoon, it's very funny. Homesteading itself and this lifestyle is like a drug. It can be addictive because you start off your journey and you start taking care of some chickens or some quail or something, and then you're like,
I can do this.
I'm getting all these eggs, and so then you take eggs off of your grocery list, and you're like, let me go ahead and start this garden. And all of a sudden you're taking all of your veggies off your list, and then you're like, I'm going to try some meat birds. And then you learn how to process the quail, or you learn how to process the meat birds, and you get really good at that. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you're like, I really like bacon. And then you go into that, and then it just snowballs to the point where you become, I don't know if obsessed is the right word, but you start challenging yourself to become more and more self-reliant and more sufficient, that it's almost like you play a game with yourself of constantly,
what else can I figure out,
constantly challenging yourself. And I think that's, at least for us, is more of the snowball effect, because you're like, I can do this. If I can do this, going from a pig to a cow
is not going to be
can't be that much. It's just a bigger animal, and it's just different cuts. And then once you start learning,
except this cow has how many stomachs?
It's one stomach, 4 chambers.
Oh, okay.
The it's larger, and then you have to learn the certain cuts. You got to learn, like with the pig, you learn where the ham is and the hocks, and you learn about your tenderloin, and then your big loin, and then you learn how to separate the ribs to be able to get your bacon and to be able to square it up, and to be to be able to do the cut for your baby backs, and and then it's like, holy smokes, like today we had to go to Sam's to pick up our vitamins and some other things, and I love to, and this is just me, I'm a jerk this way. I'm gonna flat out admit it. I'm just a flat jerk this way. I love to peruse the meat prices and then look at Robin and go,
and then do dances because he's like, you owe me.
You owe me some loving because I just saved you $4.99 a pound, $7.99 a pound. It's like we looked today at Sam's at, what was it? Prime rib. And there was a cut in there and they were asking $105 for that cut. And I was like,
yep.
And so I'm like, you owe me. Because you got 4 of them in the freezer.
April, you're right. Pastrami is another one.
Yeah.
So D, hello D. D said pop for the 10-inch slicer, not the 7-inch. We have already. That's exactly what we were thinking. We were definitely thinking that we needed to go with the 10-inch. So that's good that somebody else is telling us that because we were pretty sure that was. Do quail eggs taste different from chicken eggs? Not really, not by much. But I will tell you though that when we were eating quail eggs, most of the time. We were pickling them. I mean, you can crack them up and scramble them, but it takes an awful lot. It takes an awful lot.
But the
dude, you have no idea how bad that is because I just watched pig guts today. It's like right here.
I know. I love my marine friends. Yeah. And what was I talking about?
I don't know. But
Austin completely got us off
I can see
the track.
That word burning in my eyes and going down my throat and my stomach. Blech. Ooh.
What? Now the salami. Which one is it that you're worried about? The salami because it has to be fermented.
I think so. I think it's salami. Yeah. Hey, Chris, what's up? Yeah, I think it's salami that needs to be.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm falling in love with doing the butchering.
Yeah.
You know, I've always done it. You know, I've done my own deer. I've done my small game and the beaver and I've done a pig here and there. But stumbling across the bearded butchers, and I'm like, I can make that cut. I could do that. I could do that. And then I start following their directions and stuff. And now I'm at this spot where I'm like, I got to make mine just as pretty as theirs. And,
yeah, that's where it's at now. So Grandpa's Farm said rib roast in Ohio is $17 a pound.
Yeah. And those type of purchases are only going to go higher.
Lost Dude says, do not remove the safety guard. Ask me how I know. Well, one of the fortunate things is I've already familiarized myself with an industrial slicer because I worked at Arby's for years. So I know how to break one down. I know how to clean it. I know how to safely use it, how to not safely use it. So we're already in good shape with that. And that's one of the things that we're not going to go cheap. Like, we're not necessarily going to go cheap on any of it. But, like, for instance, with the sausage stuffer, you know, there's a choice between, you know, a 5-pound one and a 15-pound one. Well, we pretty much know that the 5-pound will be plenty. We don't need to go double the price for a 15-pound one.
Yeah, we're using the meat product line. It's meatyearmaker.com, I think is their website. And we got introduced to them through the Bearded Butchers, and then we started looking at reviews, and it was between them and LEM. And it was like they're comparable in price. But
it may be one of those situations just like with the bandsaw where it's the same kind of stuff, but it's just got a different name on it. You never know.
It may be.
Or something similar.
But, you know, it's one of those things that I really trust the Bearded Butchers, and they have used the meat grinder and the sausage stuffer, and they show you how it all breaks down and everything.
Right.
And they are just simple for me to be able to break down and get stuff cleaned.
Yeah. Windswept, not meat related, but we can't wait to try making cheddar cheese when our cow has her calf.
Yes, that's on our list too.
It is definitely.
You guys make it, write down the recipe if it tastes good, and share.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. gosh. Lost Dude said bacon in California is about $12 a pound.
That's expensive.
Yep. Thanks, Gavin. That's their governor, if you didn't know that. Gavin Newsom. Yes, I know that. I know, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't even know that.
D says the bearded butcher seasonings are awesome but expensive.
I've never even priced them.
I haven't priced them. I kind of want to play around and make my own because Carol's got a very talented palate. Mm-hmm. And so
she's been making like the last batch of loin that we had was actually a decent one. It was about like that wide, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And it was like maybe that long, maybe a little bit longer. And so she cut it all up and then she put them into food saver bags, but she marinated them before she put them, like sealed them up.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that does, because that's something, you know, that they do is they season all their stuff up before they package it. And so I think we're going to try that and see how that does. I really feel like that's going to be a good...
Yeah, I think like with the hams that are going to come out of the brine tomorrow and get rinsed off.
And get them smoked.
And then get them smoked. And then get them... I may inject a little bit of something in there. And then smoke. I don't know.
So we're excited about that.
It's one of those things that... What's the worst that it could happen?
Right. I mean,
it tastes like junk, and then you use it for dog food.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really anticipating, because it's not like she went out on a limb and used something like off the wall. Yeah. You know, she used your typical stuff, and she tried something new with our bacon this last time.
Yes.
That we absolutely love. So we'll be doing of it. And a matter of fact, I'll probably get her to do some talking on that when she's smoking tomorrow, because I think that'll be... I think I got one more row in me. I'm gonna play a yarn chicken and see if I may get through a row. Living on the edge. This is about it.
Live on YouTube. Will she make it?
This is about
dun, dun, dun.
As crazy as I will get.
Ooh, somebody get Guinness.
Guinness?
Yeah, we need some Guinness.
I know, right? They're going to be amazing. Oh, I'm sure they will be. We're looking at buying a few cows this year. Just need to get the unused 30. Yeah, you definitely invest in your fencing, because if anybody will tell you...
Our cow purchase this year will be the 3 jerseys, and we'll get them in and get them settled, and then we'll start saving up again, and then we're gonna start. I'm looking for Herefords first. I want to get my Hereford herd in and going, and then from what we sell from that, I'm torn. I'll be honest with you. I'm torn. I wanted to do Highlands, but now it seems like everybody's doing Highlands.
Start mentioning you're going to do Highlands, and everybody wants to do Highlands.
So, I don't think I started that trend. I just think everybody's thinking the same way.
Same thing.
I would really like to do...
No.
Buffalo.
No. We don't have...
Robin says no.
No, we don't have the setup for buffalo.
But you can do them the same way you do cows. You just got to be careful.
Well, let me tell you. I don't know if you've noticed our buddies, that if you even go that way anymore, that did the buffalo, they have gotten rid of their buffalo.
So, the ones in Star? Or Iva?
On the way to... Yep.
No, I didn't notice that.
So, and they've replaced them with just cows. So, I would be curious to see why that was.
You know, and then you have the one breed of cow that looks like an Oreo cookie.
Oh, mother trucker.
That one would be fun to have.
Dang it.
But don't do buffalo. Thanks. That's twice now. Two of my friends have not really had my back when I needed you to have my back. There is a thing called lying for your bros.
Nope. That's actually Karen, so Karen's the one saying don't do it. Although I'm sure Sam is like, tell him don't do it.
Yeah. So, but we're really gonna, we've got a beeline on some, what type of sheep were those that we were talking about getting? Those hair sheep? Katahdins. And so, that.
Jason raised Dexters. Nope. There's not enough of a market for Dexters, in my opinion. I've heard that it takes a lot of acreage. Yeah. That's part of what I was saying when I said I don't feel like we have enough. I think you need... With y'all's experience of large animals escaping
do not give him the satisfaction.
I'd steer clear of buffalo. I know, right?
Do not.
I know, right?
Steer clear. Do not give him the satisfaction of reading that out loud.
I did, and I agree.
It's okay.
Because I don't think Elberton is ready for a buffalo out on the road. I'm just saying. I just don't see it.
We could do ostriches.
No. I know that the marine that's down there that we always want to stop and see that has the cows and the chickens and the pigs across the street and down the hill. They have emus.
I don't want an emu. I want an ostrich.
Yeah, they have emus.
Yeah.
I don't want an ostrich. Ostriches are too big. Yeah. And after seeing that chick that I watch on TikTok with her emus,
Yeah, I don't want to. That's why I don't want to do an emu.
I think an ostrich is going to be just as bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to do something that nobody else really does.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I want to be unique with something.
I can see Jason now staring down a buffalo. If y'all didn't hear from D, train hogs to honey buns. Robin still needs a peacock, just saying.
I'm really getting tired of your friends having your back.
I know, they always have my back.
My friends want to crush my dreams.
Yep. Mine like to keep mine alive. I'm just saying.
Mine like to crush mine. But.
Karen, yes, that's the one I'm talking about, April. Karen the emu, she is a... Yeah, she is no bueno. That girl
Hold on, we watched someone on YouTube who grows shrimp in a man-made pond. They take 5 months
to get to selling. Huh. Giraffe. Raise some giraffe steaks.
You can't eat a giraffe. See, this is why I'm not talking to you right now. The rest of the day, I'm not talking to you. Giraffe steaks.
On his couch, just giggling right now. He does like what you do. You're like, watch this. Watch what he's gonna say.
You know what? I hope the baby keeps you up.
That's mean.
I hope it's all your turn tonight, and that baby does not let you sleep.
That's mean.
So. But yeah, we got 2 different pastures that I could actually run stuff in.
Right.
And keep them separated and be very successful with it. And, I know I want Herefords because they...
make really good meat.
Yes, they make really good meat.
And I wouldn't even mind having black baldies, like,
Yeah, they've gotten too expensive. Just like Angus and Irish Blacks, they've gotten way too expensive.
Because everybody thinks that Black Angus is like the end all be all of meat.
Yeah.
So
it used to be, and then they commercialized it.
Yeah, no.
And then Herefords used to be the end all be all at one time, and then they commercialized it, and it got out of hand, and then everybody went to the Angus. And so now it's just like, it goes in cycles, and right now Herefords are not super expensive, and they,
well, it's not that they're not super expensive. It's that there's so many people raising them right now that they're more prolific. They're easier to get your hands on.
What, Herefords? And so it's one of those.
Although
things.
I'm looking to see if there's some black and white speckled calves across the street around Memorial Day, because if there are, I'm just saying.
Well, we're just gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, you really don't want that DNA.
Leave it alone. And so it's I don't know what I wanted to do. I used to I was really enjoying Freckles and wanted more longhorns.
Leghorns.
And then he just got stupid. And so
I still really think that had to do with him not having enough ladies.
Kangaroos.
No.
I ate kangaroo in Australia. That was probably one of the best wild game meats I ever had.
Yeah? I'm not having kangaroos here.
It would be a hopping good time.
I bet it would be. Until you got kicked in the groin.
No, I don't
by one of them.
Kangaroo? That's a good meat.
No, I'm good. She's sitting here fussing while I give her a bottle, and I'm still cracking up.
So I don't know if I want to get back into rabbits. I have kicked that idea around.
We really have, and I always go back to that summer.
Yeah, but we were in Augusta. We're higher up in elevation now.
But it was ridiculous.
Plus, thanks to the Tonga volcano.
Oh, yeah. Here you go again.
They are stating that for the next 3 to 5 years, our weather is going
to get cooler. Yeah. Duck-billed platypus dairy. Y'all are just having too much fun with this.
There's a lot of bamboo around here. We could do pandas.
Koalas. Y'all are bad.
We could do pandas.
Y'all are so bad. Oh, I think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to do it one more time.
But I don't know what I'm going to raise in the back pasture. If I can't, for the next couple of years, it's probably just going to be deer hunting back there anyway. So until I figure out what I want.
Well, and we still have the calves. The 2 from last year won't be ready this year. They may be ready by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 may be another year or so. So, and we still got those guys. And Jason and I have a pool going on about whether or not Freckles did the deed before we put him in the freezer. Yeah. I think Calf Pal's pregnant. Jason is not so sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see around Memorial Day if he's.
It's one of those that I'm getting more and more confident with my abilities to process these animals, and I think that once I get my first cow under my belt, I think all bets are off.
Oh, I certainly agree. And then at that point, it's just the limitation of equipment and being able to store it.
And in all honesty, I may just put the Herefords in the back and run meat birds up in this front pasture, because I'm dividing the front pasture anyway between the meat birds and the pigs. I mean, between the Herefords and the pigs.
Herefords and the pigs.
Well, if that's maybe that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Because then that way I could probably fit 2, 3, maybe 5 of those Siskovich type tractors across the pathway down there.
I don't know.
And that'd be close to 400 or 500 meat birds that we could fill in there.
During the summer, yeah, but not right. Because each one of those is only going to be...
We have to wait for her to get done with this, so that way she can be an
Oh my
active
god!
participant.
Oh my god, y'all! That is the closest I have ever come. That's
so
amazing.
if I yank on this,
no, I will kill you. Okay, all done. Yay!
Do I scald my pigs or do I skin them? I skin them.
We
tried scalding last year, and it was absolutely miserable.
Woo! Who's trying to call you?
Hello, thank you for calling. Would we like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty? Yeah, I know. You know I'm live right now, right?
No.
Can I call you back in a little bit? Okay, thank you. Bye.
His giggle is so funny. He's like, see, look.
No, but seriously, let's think about this, because that's probably a really good idea. To see, this is how decisions happen here on the Big Bear Homestead, because see, I think that too, D, that Carol needs a spider monkey. I think.
What is wrong with you?
Yes. See, Carol has been talking about wanting a capuchin. How do you say that? Capuchin? You don't let me. You know what? I don't like you right now.
What was that coffee that you had today?
Oh, prison shit of you.
Stapatio? Capuchin
monkey. I think Carol needs one of those. Carol is absolutely.
Okay, before you get into that, did you finish answering the scald? You
I'm
talking
sorry.
about it.
We last winter, we tried scalding pigs, and I don't know if it's just because we weren't set up properly for it or what, but it was absolutely miserable. We would dunk the pig, let it stay in there the time that everybody says it was for, bring it out, tug on some, and the hair would come out, and we'd start scraping, and we'd have 3 or 4 people on there scraping.
Just wasn't.
It was extremely labor intensive.
Well, and then we started to think about it. What cuts of meat actually, when you get the cut of meat, actually has the skin on it?
Yeah, and it's usually just the ham.
It's just the ham.
Yeah.
So, heirloom permaculture, what's up, guys?
Yeah. And so, with that being said, and then happen to try to pressure wash it afterwards to get it good and cleaned up. There are some people like Wakatomuka Homestead. Now he scalds his, and he's got
the setup for it.
He's got it down to a science. I think the Hollers scalded theirs, and they've got the big weed torch thing and they got that big honking drum that we just don't have that. I can skin probably in the time that it takes a couple of people to scald and scrape a pig. I can skin 2 or 3 pigs.
Yeah, we can.
And so
we've gotten really good at skinning at this point. And
so it's one of those.
And the other thing too is I think a lot of times the fat, a lot of people when they get that skin off or the hair off and then they let it sit, then when they peel everything back, then they can get that fat. The fat cures a little bit better. But we've gotten so good now with skinning that we don't sacrifice a whole lot of the fat when we're skinning. We've gotten pretty good at that. So, and of course there's always room for improvement. But we're still,
I got tons of room for improvement, but
we're still not sacrificing as much as we used to. We are certainly getting a lot more of the fat now.
With
that fat cap.
With teaching Jay today, I think skinning. Now this hog was probably pushing 300 pounds. We probably got him skinned under an hour.
I would say so. And with sitting and trying to teach and talk, like it was really good.
You know, because it would be like, you know, score here, pop here, put your knife in here between the joint, wiggle it around, pop it out. Mm-hmm. You know, so there was a lot of teaching going on, and we still got it done in under, you know, I think in under. I didn't put myself on a clock, but I'm.
Well, let's just put it this way. He left at like what, 2 o'clock? So. He got here at 9. Yeah. So the whole process, okay, was from 9 to 2. That was walking down there, getting the pig out, doing all that, and we ate lunch.
Yeah, we ate lunch.
For probably over an hour. So I would say between 12:30 and 1. So the whole process only took about 3-ish hours.
Yeah.
And that was like washing, because one of the things that we didn't say is like instead of scalding and scraping, we literally scrub the pig down before we start skinning. Mm-hmm. We want to get all the dirt off of him before we start cutting anything up. So that takes a good little bit as well. You know, we try to do that pretty well so we don't have any kind of cross-contamination once we start cutting everything away.
You get all of that mud and sand and junk in there, and it just eats up your knives. And so if you scrub that off and you take the 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes, whatever it takes to be able to wash that pig, then you will you'll save your knives. And the less time that you have to stop and go, you know, bam, then you don't have to. You can keep cutting, and so that's one of the things that if you got the good knife and you start skinning that pig out, you can keep the fat there, because at the end of the day, I'm not worried about whether or not I nick a pig hide. Carol tries to be real careful because she wants to start taking these hides and dunking them and pickling them and then tanning them and turning them into. She wants to make aprons and stuff. And so you can have them, you can do what you want with them, kind of thing. They start bringing flies or start stinking, they go to the back to our food buffer. And
Dee says she's going to email Carol and plant the seed. I'm going to get you. I'm going to drive to Louisiana and kick your hiney.
Yeah. So that's what we do. That's why I like to skin them, because I can be better with my time, especially right now, because again, I don't have a cold room yet. So I have to if I'm trying to get a lot of them done for the year to be able to give us bacon throughout the year, ham slices throughout the year, pork chops throughout the year. When it's cold, I have a finite window with the weather here, so I need to get as many of them hanging up in the air.
Especially where we are, like it can be like 30 degrees for the high, 35 degrees for the high, and then a day later the high's like 60.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. It's got to stay in the 40s. So we're constantly monitoring the weather to make sure that we get it all taken care of.
And so we were really, really, really blessed this year with the cold weather, to the point where, you know, last week we were going to try to do both those big pigs, and because we thought it was going to be the end, and then this cold front came through, and we were like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
And what's crazy is, this is a praise God moment, is we would have our warm temperatures during the week so they could get stuff done outside and not freeze. And then Friday, the temperature would drop. Saturday morning, it would be cold, so we could go ahead and get the pig in the air. And then by Sunday evening, it would warm back up again. And it seems like that's what it's going to do again this week. I think it's going to start warming back up. Yeah. And then I'm not sure if it's going to drop. If it's going to drop again this weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit warmer. Yeah, you like that, don't you, Lost Dude? Anyway, so it's 9:15, 16, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
We should probably let everybody go on about their business. We got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yes. We're also going to start trying to prune up the muscadines and clean that area
We
up
have to, like,
this week.
y'all,
too.
every year this happens to us. We're like, we're going to start in December. And then the next thing we know is February. And here we are again.
Well, we've already been kind of...
I know you've been cutting a little bit. I've
a
seen
little bit,
some.
so...
But yeah,
I
we
think
got to
we've
get
got
in
like
there.
the first vine done. I think Carol's pretty much got it done.
Yeah.
And we're going to go in with a hard prune this year because we didn't really get them all last year. And so we're going in with a hard prune.
Well, not just that. We got to cut out some trees, little
some trees
saplings
that
that just
up.
popped up out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Stupid squirrels.
Yeah.
And so we'll get them out. I really wish that I could go in there and figure out a way to go in there and kind of like build almost like a raised bed around them to be able to lift them up and then be able to get the grass and all that other junk under control.
I'm sure we could put some kind of like...
I'm worried about, and I don't know anything about this, so if anybody out there has more experience with grapes, like with a tree, you cannot mulch up so high or you'll choke it out.
Oh.
You'll literally almost suffocate it.
Oh, I'm so scared.
So I'm wondering if the same thing would happen with a grape. Now, if a grape, that vine will just throw out more roots if you bury it kind of like a tomato or a potato or anything like that. And by all means, then I'll just build it up, let it throw out more roots.
I know of several times where the shoots that were above ground go down into the grass.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah. But I'm just worried about that big base of that big big.
Well, we really need to start. Excuse me. We really need to start rooting some new plants and starting some more.
Probably
from what we have, because there are some of these. I mean, we've been here 8 years. So, I mean, some of these have probably been here 20, 30 years.
I'm not even going to respond to that.
No, we didn't. We didn't have time for that this year, Lost Dude.
And so, but, I mean, these vines are putting out muscadines and scuppernongs about the size of a ping pong. So I really don't want to... really want to lose that. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be on the next couple of rainy days, stuff like that I'll have to probably do some deep dives on the old internet or books to see
what we can do,
what I can do, because if I can build that up and it just makes the root ball stronger, then by all means I'm going to do that. And then that way I can build it up, protect it, or I don't have any more random craziness
growing in there. Yeah.
And then we'll just keep the grass cut in there and use that to make hay bales or whatever with. So, well, we're super excited about this year, and as you guys can tell, we're changing everything up. The Tuesday vlog, or whenever Robin's able to get that out, should be showing you guys the new temporary goat area and what we're hoping that they will help clear out and eat out for us. So then we can go in there and completely clear it out and then get our nurseries up and going. We're going to have basically 2 pig, a cow, goat, and a sheep little nursery in there, so that way we can have them birthing areas, and that's where they're going to be in there to deliver. That way, if anything goes a little sideways and we have to intervene, it's right there. We can jump right in.
Yeah.
And then also with the pigs, we're going to take them from these little nursery areas, and I'm going to build a electric fence training area for them. So then that way, once all the guys are castrated and when we move them out back here, they're already trained on the electric fencing. Because I'm probably going to end up going to the rebar fence posts for out there and just using that slide and then a hard gate like Salatin does, and take them up and over and around, so that way all I got to do is move the gate and they can go right to the next spot.
Oh, excuse me. All right. Mommy's getting tired.
Mommy's getting tired?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mommy's getting tired, y'all.
What are you looking at?
Oh, what April said.
Oh.
So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We thoroughly enjoyed our time spending it here with you. And
Big Bear labor and delivery. That's funny.
We'll y'all be kind to one another. Keep the love going. I don't know where I was going with this. Mine just went blank. You guys?
Yeah, I saw D saying that she's by herself for the weekend. That's dangerous. Yeah, be kind to one another. You never know what everybody's going through. There's a lot of stress going on in the world right now, and everybody's dealing with it differently, so just be kind to one another.
Be a producer, not a consumer.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
Even if it's on a small scale.
Yep.
Start somewhere.
Start somewhere. Just ask Lone Star. He started with a 5-gallon bucket in an apartment complex, and now he's got like 60 acres and sheep.
I don't know how many acres it is, but yeah, he's got sheep and all kinds of fun stuff.
But, so from Robin and I, reminding you to plant smiles,
grow giggles,
and harvest the love, baby. Yeah. And we will see you guys next time. God bless.
Y'all. Have a good weekend.
Hello, and this is the FBI, and we are telling you that we just absolutely love the Big Bear Homestead, and we want you to share their social medias out and help grow this YouTube channel, because the Big Bear Homestead is the bomb.com. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Remember, put some seeds in the ground. Take those steps to become more self-reliant and self-sufficient. God bless.